What's going on, guys? Usually I'd cut the video down so it started at the beginning of my streak, but I'm actually going to keep my first death in here just to help illustrate a point. But I'm going to edit out some dead space elsewhere because this streak took a while, for reasons that will become apparent. One of those reasons is it was just an incomplete lobby on a Whiteout. For most of the game, there's just not a full party on the other team. Does anyone like Whiteout, by the way? It's very much one of those kind of ghost-specific maps. It's very big and open and asymmetrical, and the kind of map they seem to add because Battlefield 3 was knocking on their door and they thought putting oversized maps in the game would be an improvement. I mean, I think it kind of works for domination, but deathmatch is just pretty bad. Anyway, so what's happening with Ghost right now? We took 2 breaks from this game. One was at the end of last year, and the other was a few months ago when we went back to playing Borderlands 2 for a while, and each time we come back it seems like the game is slowing down more and more and more, and it slowly feels like it's grinding to a complete stop. My first death was a perfect example of the direction this game has been moving as of late, and why so many YouTubers and streamers have been moving back to Black Ops 2 or even Modern Warfare 3 in favour of this game. Because, I mean, as I said in my Octane gameplay, I said I thought Octane was a map that was good, but it was ruined by the way people play it. But I've come to realise that, in fact, that applies to the whole of the game. The entire of Ghost is being ruined by the way it's played. I mean, just take a step back for a second and consider that guys play who kill me off the start. I mean, like, everyone has an opening play for a map. When a map comes up, you think, I'll pick this class, I'll run that way and do this. His spawn was outside of the house that I found him in, so his opening play for this map was to run about 5 meters, throw down 2 IEDs, and then sit in a corner in a house and watch one doorway on one of the largest, most open maps in the game. And this is the sad reality of Ghost currently. More and more people are playing exactly like this dude. And it seems as though nearly every game I play consists of running across an excessively large map to be killed by someone who hasn't even moved off of their spawn. But it's happy to post up ADS with an M27 or something similar. Not even bother to move between kills. You know, despite there being a kill cam and the fact that I can just come back and know exactly where they are, they won't move. And don't get me wrong, Call of Duty has always been somewhat known for campers, but it's beginning to reach whole new levels. There's guaranteed 2 people on each team who will head in a beeline off every spawn they have to a single spot on the map to try and camp it. But that's not so much the problem. Even if it's not a single spot or corner camping, a huge proportion of others are now playing painfully slowly, and I don't mean cautiously. I'm not saying everyone should just become a hyperactive, rush-happy retard, but over half of the players I play against now will spend about 20 seconds plus just hard-scoped at every corner they come to. They'll take 1 kill from a spot and they'll stay there until they die. Then when they spawn, they'll head to the next nearest head glitch point and stay there until they die, and so on and so on. But why is it that people are starting to do this? You know, the first option is very simple. The community as a whole is going downhill and slowly turning cancerous. But I genuinely don't think it's that. I tend to think there needs to be more of a reason for a mass shift in playstyle other than everybody's becoming more of a dick. I more think it's down to the game mechanics they've introduced to Ghost. And first off, the biggest one, in my opinion, is the time to kill. It is incredibly short. You die very, very quickly in this game. And an interesting point that Drifter made, and if you watch any YouTube, you probably know who Drifter is. He does a lot of stats for Call of Duty and other shooters. Was that a lot of people's pings, i.e. their internet connection, which is generally the kind of delay between what's happening in the game and what you see on your screen. Obviously, the shorter the ping, the better. Is actually longer than a lot of times to kill for guns, meaning that many people will be dead before their game actually catches up and tells them that they're being shot, which is why a lot of people complain that they're being insta-killed when they play Ghost, and the fact that some people can die at the same time that an enemy even appears on their screen was already going to scare a lot of players into playing a lot more cautiously, or eventually just deciding to stop moving altogether. Especially if they weren't a confident player to begin with. The second thing which ties in with the short time to kill is something I mentioned earlier, and that's the maps. The problem here is most of them are very big and very open, and I get what they were trying to do. They tried to steer away from the classic 3-lane map, which is the term used to describe the classic design of Call of Duty maps, where there's like 3 main pathways to take across the map, 2 side ones and a middle one. In the past, the less popular maps were the kind of rare examples that they didn't take up this design, but for Ghosts they wanted to make everything a bit less conventional and a bit more realistic and, as I said earlier, maybe a bit more Battlefield. And the result is these big open plan disasters like this map. And the problem being, unless you're very aware of the spawns, i.e. you've been playing this game for a while and you know how to increase your chances of moving safely across a map, then you're almost always very vulnerable to being shot from countless different lines of sight. And now normally this wouldn't be so bad in something like Modern Warfare 3. If you started getting shot, you could react to it, you had time to move, you had time to even identify where you were being shot from and have a chance of winning. But in that short time to kill in Ghosts means that you're likely dead before you can even do anything. So as a new player, you're faced with a game that says if you move across the map, you will be shot from 1,000 different places and you'll be dead before you even know you're being shot. What's the outcome? People won't move across the map, which is why you now find these people who just don't move off their spawn. First chance they get, they'll be posted up with an LMG thermal somewhere. And those are the big reasons, as I see it. There are other things like the guns. If the guns had a lot of kick or were hard to use, then it would make it harder to kill people so quickly. But most of the assault rifles and LMGs have little to no kick. The MTAR and SMG will kill in 4 bullets or less. The Vector is similar, and in my opinion, kicks even less so. So yeah, I don't know, there just seems to be a lot of things that would encourage people to put their back to a wall and camp rather than move around the map, and that's exactly what's happening. And it has this knock-on effect as well, that's the worst thing. If someone keeps playing games where they're killed by campers or people not moving, especially from very far away, you know, like cross-mapped on Stonehaven with an LMG, then why wouldn't they start doing that themselves? And that's another reason I thought this gameplay went well with this commentary. This KEM was so slow and cautious, and honestly, if I hadn't wanted to say all of this, I wouldn't have even posted this gameplay. I said during the gameplay how campy I thought it was, but when I know half of the other team are corner camping, just waiting for me to run into their line of sight, what else am I going to do? So a shout out to everyone who is still moving around in this game and keeping it fun. I'm trying, but my god, it's getting frustrating. I don't know if it's the same story on Xbox One. I'd like to hear how that's playing these days, but on 360 the level of camping is making the game less and less playable. I still do enjoy it as a game, but it's becoming harder and harder to find a lobby of people that don't make you just want to scream. And after this KEM goes off, there's a guy earlier that I shot by this corner camping by the water wheel. And as you see, I spawned back here, and that's exactly where his tag was. So he ran straight back to this little corner here. You know, kind of case in point there. But anyway, that's my thoughts on the game at the moment. Thanks for watching, and post your opinion in the comments if you've got anything that you'd like to say about it. Otherwise, I will see you next time.
God, here we go.
Good job. Report to command for debrief.
The KEM on this map, it looks like when I'm skiing with my goggles on.